I'm not going to be on long. Just happened to have like a little delay. My client fell asleep, so he won't be here right now for his energy body work. So I thought it would be a good time to just kind of recap with you guys what happened last night when we had the live show regarding the SoulAllure. So, welcome. I'm Coach Carla Nicole. Don't forget to subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified when I go live. So, welcome, Miss Carla Nicole channel. I'm so glad you're here. I want to talk to you about something that I don't think a lot of times we think about. So, yesterday, I noticed that a lot of people that joined yesterday's show are having their own personal challenges with love affairs. There's a lot of things going on behind closed doors. Remember back in the day we called it behind closed doors. Well, there's a lot of things going on behind closed doors that it is what it is, but we need to discuss why it's going on and what's going on in those relationships. Well, I created a relationship insight called SoulAllure. So, SoulAllure is what the relationship actually evolves into after the attraction is pretty much over and the relationship begins to settle in its SoulAllure. So, SoulAllure is kind of like where after everything we've built, everything we deal with together in a relationship, we start to create a newfound renewal in how we see each other, what we believe each other to be. So in that, we want to figure out, well, how did we get here? What do we have with each other, and how is this actually moving us into a newfound style of relationship? So the SoulAllure is actually what we become after the honeymoon stage. If you want to, I know that's recognizable. So you remember when you first got with someone and everything was beautiful and oh my goodness, I love you and all of that. Once you get to that variation of what you are and you create this newfound joy in each other, you oftentimes become what? In this allure, in this care, in this deepening emotional vibe with someone and connection. And in that, I created what we call in the insight a soul allure. So when our soul begins to get in that crevice of allure, we begin to find ourselves now being challenged because after everything kind of goes beyond the attraction level, we now have to realize, well, where are we and who are we and how do we sustain what we've become? Well, that happens when we start to realize that in relationships, everything isn't always what it seems at first. When relationships become challenged, this is when you start to feel like, okay, where do I go from here? How do we create a newfound creation to where we can sustain each other, we can be glad in each other's space, and we can have a regard and a care for each other? How can we create this? So, hey Denise, welcome. So we want to be real about the actual soul challenges. Denise, I see you. I'm so glad you're here. Let me know where you're from and share with me what moved you to come on here. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. So, what we're going to talk about really quick, because I won't be on here very long, but I am going to be here because I want to talk about what happened last night. So, last night, a very powerful gentleman, hey, Janae, a very powerful follower came on the call yesterday, hey, and said to me, I have a challenge when I'm in love affairs that I'm not understood. Okay, so why in a love affair do we tend to feel like we're not understood? Stockton, okay. Well, I'm so glad you're here. I'm actually in Ohio, so I'm pretty far from you. So thank you for coming. I'm so glad you're here. So when hey, listen, everybody come on in. I'm so glad you're here. And don't forget to tell me where you're from. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell because I randomly came on this morning, or this afternoon, I'm sorry, so that I can talk to you about what was powerful about the live last night. I am having some more consistency with being more scheduled with when I go live, but I do have these times where I might just pop in and say, hey, I got something I want to share with you. So the question with one of the guys that was on the call last night, he asked, why is it in love affairs I'm misunderstood in them? And I wanted to share with him, I said, I'm so glad you asked this, because a lot of us have gone through where we feel uncomfortable. We feel misunderstood. And then in the misunderstandings, what happens? We don't see eye to eye. So we can't feel moved to be in the relationship anymore. So what's going on? So what I shared with him is very important. I want to share this with you. When you're in a relationship and you're feeling like the relationship is not where it is and someone is not understanding you, it's not necessarily because you are out of sorts and should depart from being in a relationship with them. You want to pause. Wait a minute. Don't be quick to anger. Don't be quick to rush. Great question. Why? Because when we rush to make that decision, we're making a decision in a time where there is confusion. What I call it is sacred static. Sacred static means back in the day when we had TVs, we've been blessed, but now, so we don't have antennas anymore. But back in the days when we had TVs, we used to have these long antennas where we would have to move it around to get the station to be more clear. Well, in love affairs, we still have static. We just don't have the antennas to represent that in the mind. So now I'm helping you to see in our relationships when we get confusion, the confusion can come from sacred static. Here's the thing. The sacred static could be, okay, so you know about the TV, so you might be up there with me. I'm in my 50s, so the ones that don't know what the hell I'm talking about, they are not in their 50s, so they don't have a clue as to what an antenna is. But yes, so we had to move the antenna around to get a clearer channel so we could see the TV better. Well, that happens in love affairs. So what's happening is there's confusion. Sometimes, yes, the one, the big button was a one. Yes, that is so funny. So when you have the confusion in a love affair, it can come from different static. So the sacred static is first sometimes static inside your own soul, your own spirit. So you might be having static inside you. And here's what I'm trying to help you to see. It could be from childhood trauma. It could be from PTSD. It could be from feeling unseen. It could be from emotional annoyances in your own self. That's a sacred static. So guess what? When your lover's talking to you, you don't hear what you want to hear. You don't hear what you know to hear. You're hearing static. And so they're constantly repeating to you, and now they feel unheard. So now we got the back and forth. Nobody's hearing nothing because you got static inside you that you really haven't taken the time to really face. And then your lover is talking to you on top of the static, hard to hear. So this is where it gets funny. I'm trying to get people to relax and learn it is okay to not make a relationship status opinion or decision when the sacred static is going on. Also, sometimes the static can be outside of you and she, or you and he, or you and your relationship. It could be family trauma going on. It could be such and such had an accident and now we're not able to focus on each other. We got something to deal with us as a team. Now we got all this stuff going on and we're not being able to be sacred in our space to focus on each other. Again, these are outside sacred statics that can happen and impact our love affair. And in these statics, man, it's a lot. And then we're trying to figure out, why can't we see eye to eye? I'm talking to you, but you can't hear me. The static is going on. So I don't want you to make a decision on if we should be together or not at this time. Now, in the relationship insight, this is SoulAllure. SoulAllure is the basis for what the love affair has become and evolved into. In the SoulAllure, listen to me. This is very important because in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to explain something that you don't want to miss. Inside of the SoulAllure, there comes a point where you are looking at she's looking at you, he's looking at you, and you're looking at he, and you're like, why are we here? Should we continue on in this journey? Because you're not hearing me, I'm not hearing you, we're having a lot of confusion, we're having a lot of disrespect and a lot of disregard for each other, and at this point, we're feeling like we should just end things. Wait a minute. Sometimes we need to pause on that decision making in that phase, in that time. What I call the daunting phase. Okay? So we have soul eclipse in our love affairs. Eclipse are going to come no matter how beautiful the relationship is, no matter how well you guys get along in the relationship. There will come points in time where in the relationship you are going to feel some sacred static, some difficulty, some pain, some health issues, some financial distress. All these different things and factors will come. How you handle it from there is how your SoulAllure begins to become more balanced. So I'm helping you to see sometimes we have to pause. We have to be okay in the changes. Now, here's the second thing you want to pay attention to. When the sacred static is going on, rather than hurrying up and making the decision to be done and over with each other, wait a minute. Maybe what you want to do is rather than rush to making a decision or rush to getting over it so you don't have to deal with it, pause. Start doing some soul studying. What do I mean by soul study? Soul study is I'm sitting within my soul and I'm coming to terms with some things that I know I haven't faced. I've avoided in my life. Some things that happened to me, I maybe don't even remember, but no matter what, our soul remembers, regardless of even if we acknowledge those challenges. So in that, how can I make a decision in a sacred static while we got all this interruption and influx of disturbances going on? How can I make a decision to stay or not stay in that time? That's not the time. So I'm helping you to see we have to get more balanced on making a decision and being okay with not making it in a certain phase of the relationship state. And how do you know you're in a daunting phase? Let me tell you this. Daunting phase is very, very, very quiet. It's not immediate. It's usually not abrupt. It sneaks up on you like a silent little toxin. You know, when we get a cold, we don't really recognize the cold until we're in the thick of the cold. We're sneezing, we're coughing, but there were all kind of signs before you got to that sickness that was telling you your immunity isn't good right now. But we ignore it, right? Oh, I'll be good. I'll be fine. Oh, it's a little. I've had this little sniff, or I've had this little cough for a while, but it's no big deal until you get to the thick of that cold, and then you're coughing, hacking, mucus, spitting up, all that. But there were signs of it before we actually got to the severity of it. So I'm giving you a heads up. Inside the solar eclipse, it's very, very, very subtle. So you don't want to rush to make a decision to pull out of the love affair when the solar eclipse takes a little bit of time to get you to that darkness. So how come I'm telling you not to make the decision? Because you want to evaluate what were the signs before that caused this phase to happen. And in the happenings of the solar eclipse, we want to see how we do my 3R spectrum. How do we react? How do we respond? And how do we resolve? This is a part of the real soul work. How do we react when we go through a darkness and a dark phase in our love affair? How do we respond? And how do we react? So that's something we have to look at. And in that, we start to resolve from a newfound place that we're like, okay, I've been through some hell, I've been through some difficulties. So, how do I change that? How do I come to a conclusion when it's a lot of static, it's a lot of things going on that's not of us, or some of the things that are of us? How are we able to come to a conclusion? So remember, I told you in 5 minutes I was going to give you something that you could take and use today. Here's the thing. In a SoulAllure, when I say to pause to make any type of decision on leaving or staying, this is the time to now focus on your inner war that you're dealing with, what emotional things that you haven't faced or addressed, and when were you abandoned in your life. I'm gifting you with this because it's important to do some studying of your soul. So, this is the Zen for soul abandoned. The abandoned soul has a tendency to just say, oh, I'll put myself on the back burner later. I'll figure it out later. No big deal. But you know, in a plane, they tell you, put the oxygen mask on yourself first in the event of an emergency. Because you're not going to be of any help to anyone else if you're not making sure there's oxygen going on in you, if you're trying to help and aid others. That applies to life, period. So you need to do your soul studying, and you need to, at that time, rather than making a decision about what you two are or what you two aren't, or in your partnerships, you're not flowing well. It may be a phase. Don't make a major decision yet. Take your time on it. Spend time really looking at you. See if there are certain patterns that you've gone through in your past that maybe you haven't paid attention to, because those patterns will really impact how you are actually operating in your love affairs. Because guess what? No matter what relationship you're in, I don't care if you're in a relationship with your parents, a relationship with your kids, a relationship with your man, woman, whatever, you are going with you. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to your soul and making sure you're taking time to study you. Study your soul. See what it is your soul is in need of. What are some of the things that you haven't addressed with you? Because in love affairs, those things that you don't address with you show up in that relationship every single time. You got to do the work. And in order to be in a better state of being or being in a better mindset, you have to do the work. So like I said, pay attention to you. Pay attention to what your needs are. And understand it's okay to pause and not jump to conclusions when things are going wrong. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. It's Carla Nicole channel, Coaching Matters. Make sure to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell because, like I said, I don't know when I'm going live at times. I do have some scheduled, I think a couple of episodes already scheduled. So go over there and make sure to set your alert so that you're going to be there. And they're usually in the evening. I don't usually come in the afternoon or mornings. But I was moved today because last night we had a very powerful live last night talking about the SoulAllure, talking about when there's confusion and we can't see eye to eye, what do we do? Because a lot of people are private about their personal love affairs. They don't want everybody knowing about what they got going on behind closed doors. So I make it a point to be here. I'm a coach. You can reach out to me. You can call 844-594-7366, or if it's easier to remember, call 844-5-WISDOM, extension 0. Hey, good morning, Cornelius. Well, afternoon now, it's 12. You can contact me at 844-5-WISDOM, extension 0, and you can join because really, I'm building a platform now to where I'm more accessible. I understand some private clients has come to me and told me that they're really struggling in their love affairs and they really want to make things right. But I tell them all the time, no matter what relationship you're in, whether you're a parent, whether you're a lover, whether you're a employee or a business owner, whatever you got going on, you're going with you regardless. So that is the first relationship we have to work on first in our soul. Who is this person behind this body? Who is it? Because I need to figure that out. So understand, it's going to be some challenges, it's going to be some trials coming up in all love affairs, all relationships. We are going to have challenges and we're going to have difficulties. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's Carla Nicole channel. Coaching Matters. Please make sure to share the video and watch this again. I know when I go live, it's hard to even imagine some things that you missed, but it's okay. The replay will be here. You can watch it again and sit down and really take notes, because what I'm sharing is not something I'm just sharing off the cuff. I've actually created a relationship insight design to help to restore love affairs. Love affairs are in a shambles right now. They're all over the place. I have people come on here and they start telling me, man, I feel confused, or I just want to make this right. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, no problem. Let me help you. If you will let me help you, I can get it to a better state. You just got to work with me and you got to be willing. Hey, Darlene, I appreciate the hearts. You have to work with me to work with you so we can upscale this love affair. But the truth of the matter is, and this is a secret for those of you that stayed on here with me, the truth of the matter is the love affair starts with you first. How you treat you. Yes, you. It's not just about the other person. It's how you're treating yourself. And you matter. So in that, it's essential that we get beyond thinking, well, that man ain't nothing and this woman ain't something. It's like, no, wait a minute. How are you treating yourself in your private thoughts? What are you doing in here? In the heart. These two things go hand to hand. So I need to know, with you having the difficulty in your love affair, I understand that, and we want to rush to fix and repair it, but I can't do that if we don't deal with you first. You're coming to me for help as a coach. I have no problem with that, but this is not a quick fix coming to coaching. This is real work, and I'm telling you, it is not easy. I'm very crystal clear on letting people know, listen, when you come to coaching, it is not those warm, loving, energetic, yoga posing pictures. It's not just sunsets and beach views. No, you're going to have ugly crying. You're going to go down and face some real truths. You're going to have to look in the mirror at you for real, be vulnerable. It is not easy. Being a coach is not easy, because I see a lot of people hurt and harmed from past stuff. And I'm like, listen, we got to go back there, not just to sit there and stay there and keep talking about it and drumming it up and going through the pain. No, we got to go back there and see what is the source. Once we go back to do the work, we're done with it. I don't keep taking my clients back into the mess and the drudgery. I go there for us to pull what the source is, and then we deal with the healing in that process. We will have to deep dive on some things to figure things out. But after we get to that, I don't stay there. We don't stay there. We move on. We come up with my 3R spectrum. I look at, well, how are you reacting? How are you responding? And then what's your resolution? So we can get past this. We're not going to stay here all this time and not move away from it. We have to come up with plans on how to resolve it and get to a higher level, because nobody wants to stay in pain forever. So in order for me to coach and do what I love doing, because I do love doing this, I need to make sure that I am here so that you all can let me know that personally you may not want to say this out loud, but you got some stuff going on at home. You got some hurt that is not being addressed inside of your relationship. You know, I have clients tell me, hey man, I feel abandoned. Well, what's going on? I'm thinking the person's not even in the house. No, they're in the house, but they're not feeling that they're connected to them, because they're doing their craft, or they're doing their thing that they love to do, or they feel, and they're not doing anything wrong. They're just doing them. And in love affairs, we have a tendency to have dependencies that we don't address. So a lot of my clients will be like, hey, on the low, I'm really struggling. I feel abandoned. My man isn't paying attention to me. I don't feel beautiful. I'm like, that doesn't have anything to do with what he's not doing. It has something to do with inside you. You had some past trauma that you didn't feel beautiful. And so when you don't get the validation or the compliments or the hey or flirtations that you feel you should be getting, you start to go into this drudgery of feeling like you're not pretty enough, as an example. And these are some of the things that I'm seeing happening inside of relationships that I'm wanting to help you to get past so you can upgrade and feel more buoyant in your soul allure, feeling more confident in who you are as a woman or as a man. And that doesn't happen just in a quick fix. This takes work. So like I said, I'm your coach, Carla Nicole. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also remember to hit the notification bell. I do have some upcoming episodes coming up. So look on the list of different shows coming up and choose your time that you want to be alerted and make sure that you do that so that you don't miss. Because again, the replays are here, but also I want you guys there because when you're here, it makes this what I do all worth it. So let me get ready for my bodywork session. Again, you can call me or you can text the number 844-5WISDOM extension 0, or you can text that number at 844-594-7366 to schedule an appointment with me to figure out what's going on so we can get an in-depth way to create a better harmony in your life. You don't have to live in misery. It's not necessary. If you're opening those eyes up every day and you're tired of looking at the misery, only you can change it. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. I appreciate you. It is your coach, Carla Nicole, and have a very wonderful Sunday. Bye, guys.